Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. I don't want to play O-line against Elmondo Sewell. I don't want that.
Welcome to the Empire. It's the Eskimo Empire podcast.
And here's Mike Riley, takes the drop, waits and throws, and he's going deep downfield to Darius Bowman. Oh my goodness, what a catch by Darius Bowman. You won't see many better than that. Franklin to Zylstra, touchdown Eskimos. Pressure's coming. Oh, Levi Mitchell goes down. There's a big play for the defense. Somersaults for everybody.
Welcome back to the Turf District for episode 82 of the Eskimo Empire podcast. I'm your host, Andrew. Thank you for downloading and having a listen. And with me, as always, and finally getting those new headphones that were added in his new contract, Superfan Mike. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Welcome to episode 82. I guess that's the Scott Cloman episode.
I guess it is, yeah. He is a friend of the show, so
that's
we might
right.
as well
or,
go that way.
Darren
Yeah.
Flutie, I guess.
Well, no, we'll go Cloman.
There we go.
Obviously, a few new additions to the Turf District.
Yeah,
with,
looking good in
some
here.
New shelves, and you've got a new chair, and oh my goodness.
I know, I'm just getting spoiled here.
Now, I need to make this clear that was all donated by my father, so that was, but it worked out rather well.
You didn't, we'll edit this part out. It's
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's perfect. Well, this is a fun little bonus episode, and before we get to our wonderful guest that's here, I do want to have a quick thank you out to Chris Sheets, who had us on the Sheets show on last Sunday, so that was March 26th.
On Ched, yeah.
Exactly, and you can, at 630ched.com, you can actually go back into their audio vault and hear that. Was really fun conversation with Chris, and it's nice because he's a fan too, and so we were kind of approaching it from that perspective, but also just the love of the game, where it started and where we think it's going to go, and so I highly recommend listening to that one.
Yeah, he just makes it all so easy. He's a constant professional.
Yes.
And it flowed. I mean, it was
it
it's
went
a good thing
so
to aspire
fast.
to as well, right? Seeing as we're a little newer at this than he is.
Yeah, exactly. We had him guiding us through.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So it was awesome. So highly, like I said, listen to Chris Sheets, and thanks again for having us on. One other thing I just want to mention, if you have a moment and if you haven't already, please go on to iTunes, rate and review the show. That does help the show kind of climb up, and as we get closer to CFL season, we want that show exposure so that we can get more exposure for the CFL. All right, let's get to our guest. So now, you were in Esk up until just recently, but with him being in town, we thought we'd take the chance to catch up. So who is it? Well, I assume you read the show title already, and I assumed you watched the Periscope, but it's four-year Eskimo and now Canadian defensive tackle for the Riders, number 97, Eddie Steele. Welcome to the Turf District.
Thank you. It's great to be here with you guys tonight.
Yeah, it's been great.
This is awesome, and I love the laughs we've already had on Periscope and all those things. Everyone pointing out how big your arms are. That's surprising. You are a defensive tackle. Wasn't that what Blake Dermott said? Coke machine with a head on it?
Yeah.
Isn't that how that works?
Yeah, pretty much.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
That's the way it's supposed to be. So other than obviously the shocking changes, how's the off-season been for you?
Everything has been great. Been exciting. Lots of new changes in my life. My wife expecting any day now, so little baby boy on the way.
Awesome.
Getting my feet wet with a little bit of work, starting to think about life after football. Being that I'm going into my 8th year of pro ball now.
Wow.
Knock on wood, get to year 10. At least that's my goal coming out of college, is
Good goal.
minimum 10 years, and I'm well on my way.
Awesome.
So yeah, everything has been really good this off season.
Well, and now that you're changing teams, you had the one Grey Cup, so we're good, right? I'm kidding.
Hey, my 4 years here, I'm happy with my 4 years here because
sure.
I got the Grey Cup, and Edmonton has been nothing but good to me.
Awesome.
Playing on this team opened up a lot of avenues in my life, and I met my wife, and we got married, and all throughout while I was on the team, so awesome. I had a lot of great experiences being an Eskimo. The Grey Cup in Winnipeg obviously is going to take the cake. I mean, being a Winnipeg boy, the Grey Cup probably won't be in Winnipeg again while I'm playing.
Yeah.
So the timing of it be able to be there and then make it and have the season that we had coming off rebounding from that year before where we lost to Calgary in the West Final. It was special, man. It was special.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was special.
I mean, especially to win it in front of your family and friends and everything else. Obviously, you've got some teammates as well. Donnie O, another Manitoba boy as well, who you sort of played with on the line.
Man, I played with Donnie O since high school.
Really?
College, we played high school together, college together, pro together. It's like a movie. It's crazy. It really is. Honestly, it's nuts, man. It's nuts.
I'm sure that after Donnie went to Montreal, everyone half expected you to be there too.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, hey, Cavis was calling. Cavis was calling. Yeah.
Well, hard to say no to Cavis.
Yeah, I know.
So let's travel back. You said you've got a young son coming, and obviously excited and nervous about that, I'm sure, all at the same time.
Yeah.
But let's go back to when you were a wee lad, and when did you start playing football, and who kind of introduced you to the sport?
Well, to be honest, always grew up loving the sport. I didn't need any introduction to it. My dad, he played a year pro in Hamilton.
Oh, nice.
So I got drafted to Hamilton, so that was really neat, actually.
Yeah.
That was pretty special. So he was very gifted athlete. His brother, he has 8 brothers and sisters. Wow. So, he big family, and they were all gifted athletes, soccer players, and so I was definitely, I had the DNA, the genes. I always just was playing ball at recess and stuff. I was the one rallying up kids to go and throw the ball and stuff. So yeah, football was always, you could say, a priority in my life, to be honest.
Nice.
It probably shouldn't be, but it always, it was. It was definitely growing up. So I started at 13.
Okay.
Played community club ball.
Right.
Played a year there. I was a defensive lineman, offensive lineman my whole career.
Okay.
Went on to high school. That's where I met Donnie O. He was 2 years older. So I came in grade 9. He was grade 11. I came in and started right away as a grade 9 with all the older dogs. One little tidbit about my high school, man, I started every game for 4 years straight. We went 4-28-1.
Whoa!
And that's with 2 CFLers on the team too.
No kidding.
And with other college talent, we didn't win a lot. It was bad. It was really bad. Didn't win a lot.
Tough.
But then, it was tough because you had guys like Harris too, right? Harris is playing in the high school league, ripping it up, going for 300 yards a game. So there was talent in Winnipeg. There was a lot of talent when we were growing up, and there still is coming out of Winnipeg. So I played my 4 years of high school, went to U of M. Fortunate enough to win the Vanier in 07 with the Bisons.
Yeah.
Perfect season then. Combine, got drafted, and the rest is history. Yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, as you were growing up, did you have a favorite player that you looked up
Randy
to?
Moss, hands down.
Oh, nice.
Not even close. Yeah, I had so many Randy Moss jerseys, and my homepage on the internet was MossZone.com.
Yeah.
I was like an absolute fanatic for Randy Moss.
Go figure. I mean, outside of Jerry Rice, can you think of a better receiver?
He's the best, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I didn't really get to watch Jerry a whole ton.
Different era.
Exactly. So, in my opinion, game changer when he was with the Vikings.
Yeah.
And Minnesota, it's right below Manitoba, right? So it's like the home team, right?
Yeah.
So it's Moss all the way.
Did you ever get to go down and watch?
Absolutely. I got to watch Moss in his rookie season. It was a Monday night game against Jacksonville.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the first NFL game I went to. I was a young pup, but I remember it vividly, man.
I bet.
It was neat. It was so neat.
Man.
Sat in the corner, bottom bowl.
Yeah.
It was
Holy,
cool.
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So now you talked a little bit about winning the Vanier Cup, and obviously for you, you're in your home province playing for your home university, and then you win the Vanier Cup. So what was that experience like for you going through that build-up?
It was really awesome. The year before, we went undefeated. I redshirted, so it was tormenting me having to watch that.
Yeah.
I was practicing, but I get to watch the team go undefeated. But then we lost to U of S in the Canada West Final.
That's tough.
Yeah, it was tough.
Yeah.
It was tough. And then the guys they were pissed. The older guys, they were really pissed. We graduated 5 guys, I think, so we had a lot of guys come back. And then we just ran the table the next year in 07.
Right.
It wasn't even close. A lot of people hate because it was an older team,
Yeah, sure.
The year we went to the Vanier, the Bombers were playing in the Grey Cup too.
Yeah.
It was in Toronto.
Yeah.
And our average age was, I think, older than the Bombers' average age for college.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, our average age was like 27. So, I mean, it was because the CIS rules were different, right? You could go play your full 5 junior,
right,
and then go a full 5 college. So guys were coming into college at like 24, 25.
Oh, no kidding.
We had a running back. Our starting running back in the venue was like 30 plus. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, honestly,
that's really crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. It is crazy because the way the rules work, but it wasn't cheating or anything.
No, but
we played St. Mary's. Their average age was 26. We were just older than them.
Yeah.
So people hate on that Vanier for that aspect, but I just say, look, I was 19 on that team. I was legit. I did it the right way, so I got my ring.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
So you talked about obviously being drafted by Hamilton. Do you remember draft day?
Absolutely. Yeah, I was. Ed Hervey called me up on the Thursday, actually. Right. Draft was on Sunday morning. Hervey called me on the Thursday. I was a really highly touted prospect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was like the number 7th ranked prospect, number 1 D lineman coming out.
Yeah.
Hervey said, if you're there at number 12, they have the 12th pick, we're going to pick you. 12th pick comes around. I was expecting to be a first rounder, first 2 rounds. Yeah. On draft day, I had a huge draft party, and Global and CTV were there.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
At my dad's house, and because I really was expecting to go on TV.
Yeah.
So it was kind of embarrassing having like all those people there, and I didn't get drafted on TV. Edmonton, they actually drafted some DB who lasted like a season at 12. Yeah. And Hamilton drafted me 22nd overall. I was kind of bummed. I didn't handle it properly. I was really immature about it. And, I was supposed to be a first rounder, and just being a little softy about it. But, my pop set me straight, had a good conversation with me. And, I just went to Hamilton, spent the first year there on the PR. Okay. For most of the year. I got activated in week 14, actually. There was Toronto tried getting me off the PR. Hamilton didn't want to let me go, so they activated me. Okay. And then Bob Obilovich, the GM, he's quite a businessman back in the day. He brings me in the office. I'm a young kid, 21 years old. I don't know what's going on. He says, you sign this new deal, which was like a 4-year deal, or I put you back on the PR. So it's like he's going to try and lock me in rookie minimum for the next 4 years, really try and get me. Spoke to my agent. My agent said, call his bluff, say put me back on PR. He put me back on PR. 2 hours later, Calgary tried to get me off the PR. So he was forced to activate me again. So I finished the last 5-6 games getting game checks that year. So that was pretty nice, especially, considering I was just grinding all year, watching the guys play. So it was nice finish to that year at least.
That's cool. To be fair, because I'm pretty sure we had the wrong GM at that time, and that's probably why they didn't take you in that particular spot.
For all those fans listening, I'm sure they can remember Salim Borhat.
Oh, of course.
Who was who we took with
that's the name. I was going to say it, but that's the name. He lasted about a good season.
About that,
That's okay. We corrected it after a while.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, you're traded here to the Esks in 2013. Yeah. What was it like walking into that locker room the first time?
Whoa.
That's what we do too, just so you know.
Straight up. I was playing at the old Ivor Wynn.
Wow.
I'm talking during practice, during the week of practice, they're having to, the bleachers were all boards, like actual boards, 2x4s. So they were having to always saw and hammer and repaint, and that's how old school it was. Like every practice week, they're in the bleachers fixing these old boards. Our locker room was just a little cave. It was nothing. So to come to Edmonton, cream of the crop, right? It's the best there is. I see Saskatchewan's facilities. It looks pretty beautiful.
It does.
That new stadium. But Edmonton, they have the pool, they have the gym, the track, the field turf, and the Commonwealth Stadium, the locker room, all under one roof. Yeah. It's a pretty special facility, to be honest, as an athlete.
Dwayne Mandrusiak is especially proud of it. He is anyone that takes football 301 here. gets a chance to go through the locker room, and you can just see the pride in his face. I mean, he's been with the team since 71.
40-plus years.
Yeah, so he's seen the old Clark Stadium, the old Commonwealth Stadium facilities, and
now this.
Yeah, he got to have a little bit of a say in it, I think. So,
oh, absolutely, he did.
He wanted to make sure that people are happy to come in.
I think he's had a little bit of a say in some people's careers over the years, too. Seriously.
We would love to get him on the show, but he said not enough people are dead yet.
But even that, like, that's got to be a little intimidating as you walk in just coming here as a player. I think most people across the league know who Dwayne Mandrusiak is. And the first time that you got to kind of face him as, okay, like, I'm the player and I'm in your locker room, that's got to be a little stressful. Like, I think it would be.
Yeah, you got to come at him properly, that's for sure.
Yeah. Sure.
If you come at him sideways, you'll rub him wrong real quickly. Yeah. If you don't put your laundry away properly or abide by his rules of the locker room, if you're eating in there, you're in the doghouse quick, and it's tough to get out of the doghouse.
Oh, I bet.
I've seen it with so many guys over the years.
Yeah.
And
he's not a big guy. Like, he's not that tall, not that big.
His presence is
exactly
enormous.
Omnipresent.
Nice.
So, looking at some of your time playing here, obviously you focused on the defensive line, but you did have some time on the offensive line, switching a couple of times during the season. So, what was that like to be able to have to switch back and forth?
It was quite an adjustment. When the coach originally asked me to switch, and when he approached me, I'm all for it. I'm a team guy first. It's all about the team. And, I had to spend, I was at the office probably till 9 o'clock at night with the O-line coach, just putting in extra work because I had to learn from square one, square zero. I had to learn all the calls and the checks, and I had to learn Mike Riley's calls, and it was crazy. My mind was scrambled. It truly was, but. The O-line guys, Sorensen at the center, and I was playing in between him and DeAnthony Batiste, and they were really good. They really helped me, communicated with me in game scenarios, so that really made it a lot easier for me.
That's awesome.
Where I could just kind of focus on football, and they were kind of walking me through what I should do, and I'm just out there playing, so it helped.
Wow.
But it was crazy. Like I was telling you guys, I had to start the Labor Day Classic in Calgary.
Jeez.
That was my first game on the O-line.
Trial by fire.
Against Micah Johnson, a good D-line.
He's all right.
Yeah, good D-line. They had Charleston and Frank Beltre. They had some good players.
No kidding.
And they're running twists and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's a different beast, but I did well. I gave up a sack that game.
Yep.
It was on a screen. Yeah. So, I'm kind of supposed to let the guy go, but I let him go a little too soon.
Sure.
But other than that, I didn't really give up any blunders or have any blunders, any big plays. And then the Labor Day rematch, we whooped Calgary's butt here.
Yes,
and man, that was fun. I was a physical game. That was fun. I can brag. I was out there balling, beating up some D-line. Me and DA were taking double teams 30 yards downfield and playing with confidence. Yeah, that was a lot of fun, man. We really beat them up that game.
I think the thing that completely amazed me about that with you switching back over is in those games you had one holding call that I can remember.
Yeah.
Because I was expecting, he's going to get some holding calls. I mean, I was going to obviously, as a fan, and that's one thing we really focus on, is holding calls. And I was thinking, I got to forgive him. He's just switching over. But only, I remember talking about it on the podcast. I'm like, he played amazing on the O-line, which we didn't completely expect because of that quick switch.
Yeah.
We've talked about before, people switching from D-line to O-line usually get the off-season and training camp to get used to it. I mean, you're doing it in a week.
Yeah.
And I think the best compliment you can give is you almost didn't hear your name at all other than that holding call. And for an offensive line, that's exactly what you want. You want to just be a solid group.
Yeah, it was it was definitely one of the more memorable moments of my career. That's for sure. It's just a change, right? You're on defense. It's see ball, get ball. You're out there flying around. Offense, you're patient. You're, as an O lineman, you think these guys are just out there mauling guys, but no, it's all footwork and technique.
Yeah.
You can't just throw your weight into a guy because he'll use that and counter your momentum.
Right.
And, that's how you give up the plays. And what probably helped too is me being a D lineman my whole career. I kind of know what to look for, and so I'm sure that helped. And the biggest reason coach even approached me about it, because there was other guys on the team that could play still. There was able bodies, but he wanted a dog. He wanted a physical mentality, and that's why I'm playing, man. That's why I'm playing. So. And if the least bit, if my technique's not there, I'll be a dog out there. I'll be physical out there. So
awesome. Now, did you get major trash talk from the Calgary guys? Knowing that you were switched over?
Honestly, I don't even talk out there during games. O-line or D-line, I don't talk. I'm worried about the next play, saving my energy.
But I meant, were they coming at you though?
Exactly. No, they really weren't. They really weren't.
Okay.
The words would be like, "What the hell are you doing over here, Steele?" They weren't, because there's respect across the league, right? Sure. And they're not going to just come and trash me because look what I did. It's not like they were abusing me. What are they going to say?
Exactly.
Oh man,
for a guy in his first game.
That's what I mean. A D tackle, and I was playing O line at 280 pounds.
Yeah.
The guy, guys coming at me are bigger than me. Some of them,
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. I don't want to play O line against Elmondo Sewell. I don't want that.
No.
I don't want that.
I don't think many people do. Just to be fair,
boy, no thanks.
So throughout your last few years, which has been the hardest O line to play against?
Calgary.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't give up much, right? As far as you getting to sniff Bo. I mean, since I've been here, I think I have 2 sacks against Calgary. One was Kevin Glenn in 2013 when he was there, and then one was, I think, 2014 against Bo. So they don't give up a ton. They play really well as a unit, their O-line.
Yes.
Even with they're not players.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're not full of star-studded names or anything.
Right.
But they play solid. They really do. And Bo helps them, right? Bo gets rid of the ball quick, and he knows his reads pretty much instantly when he sees a defense, so that helps. Yeah. So they're pretty good. They're pretty consistent. That team in general is just consistent.
Yes.
Every year.
And you know what, though? I'm actually glad you said that, because the last couple of years we've had, we're friends with some Calgary people, and they say, some of them will come back and say, yeah, but our O-line is so bad. I'm like, what are you talking about? I think that O-line's amazing.
It's just not famous, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Not as well known, but I think they do an amazing job.
Yeah, they don't have that big name, big Javon Olafuyoi and big names like that, but no, they're consistent, man.
Yeah.
Consistent.
That's all it takes.
Yep. Yeah. So we talked earlier off, Mike, about doing the Esks by the numbers. Everyone's favorite player by the jersey number here. So we're always curious where people get their numbers from. Is that something that you chose, or it was handed to you? Why 97?
Yeah, I chose it in high school. Actually, I was 64 for grade 9, 10, 11. That wasn't by choice. Well, I got given the number in grade 9. Yeah. Just stuck with it because I played O-line and D-line. Grade 12, I switched to 99. And coming into college, I don't remember. I think I had to take 97, but I just remember the 7 made me feel like I look slim. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I stuck with it. Yeah. I stuck with it. And, I had success under 97, and I love the number. Hamilton, I had to be 98, actually, because there was a vet there.
Right.
Yeah, who had 97. And when he left, I didn't bother changing. But now going to Sask, I wanted a single digit. They only had number 8 when I signed. They told me they're saving it for a special quarterback, which I know who.
Jeez,
that
I wonder
was.
Who that is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So and then they said that they had 49, 90, and 95. So I took 95.
Nice. All right.
Yeah, that's probably the sexiest out of those. So.
Well, I got to figure if 7 is slimming, 8 can't be that slimming.
But the single digit,
yeah, it's true.
I wanted that single. That looks bad as a D lineman.
Yeah, it's true.
But now, okay, so and yes, they were saving it for Vince Young. What do you think that's going to be like, walking into camp when you're going to be there with Vince?
It'll be no different than any other camp. I hope he's successful and pans out, because he could potentially be my quarterback.
Absolutely.
But we've seen this so many times,
Sure.
With Americans. And who's getting who? He hasn't played in, 4 years, 3.5 years at quarterback. And he was playing American ball, smaller field. The reads are way harder up here.
Yeah.
You throw that
Extra
quick
DB.
out. Yeah, that quick out is far throw if you're throwing it to the far sideline. That we've seen a lot of DBs jump that to the house. Yeah. So, I hope he does well. Really do, because he's going to be my quarterback. But I don't know. I haven't seen him play. That's what training camp is for.
Yeah.
It's nobody's seen him play, right?
That's true.
For 3 years.
Yeah.
So, it's really up in the air. History has shown it, generally doesn't pan out, but I really hope he does. And yeah, if it does, it could be pretty special, I think.
Yeah. In training camp, if you sack him, be gentle taking him to the ground.
Yeah, we don't touch the quarterback.
No, I know.
I'll be a free agent if I did that.
Okay, so now let's go back again. So you won the Cup in 2015.
Yay.
What was that whole experience like for you? And do you remember what your first thought was after the game was over?
Yeah, the whole week was a blur. I didn't do anything really. I stayed pretty low key. Went to our media dinners and stuff, but I kind of hid out in the hotel. I wasn't. I could have really been distracted. I had people hitting me up for tickets and trying to get meals and come get me to party this night, because it's a big party all week.
Absolutely.
But I really barricaded myself in my hotel room and stayed low, and winning the game, it was unbelievable. Dream come true, to be honest.
Yeah.
I would be in school as a kid daydreaming about winning a championship game in front of all my support and friends. And to be able to have done that, the timing of having the Grey Cup in Winnipeg is just so special, the way it worked out. The support I had at the game, it was crazy. I was warming up, and I just heard people calling my name from all over, the end zone, the side, like everywhere. I just heard people who knew me, throughout the community calling me, and I'd see who it is and wave at them, and so many familiar faces. And I feel that I made a lot of people proud,
Oh, yeah, sure.
To be honest, I feel like I should have been most outstanding Canadian in that game.
I kind of agree.
A few people agree with me on that.
Yeah.
Which would have been more special to been able to get up there and address everybody at home on the big stage. That would have been really cool. But we won the game.
Yeah.
My first thought initially was just like, wow. Like, I ran to a spot of grass and just went on my knees, and it was, the confetti was flying. It was crazy. I was like, wow, this is it, And then my wife and my mom and dad, they all came onto the field, and we did all the celebration there with the team. And then once I got my turn with the Grey Cup, I had all my friends that I play college with and stuff. They all had my jersey. There's a really cool picture on my Facebook of it, actually.
Right.
Nice. I'm holding the Grey Cup, and like all these steel jerseys are touching the Grey Cup, and it's really cool, man. It's really cool.
I'm going to need you to send that to me so that I can send that off, because I think people would love to see that.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I'll show it to you. Fantastic. And just to share a story with you from the fan perspective, because Mike and I were both there for the walkthrough on the Saturday.
Right.
And, we're doing the Go Esco, and it was all amazing. And then at the end of the practice, all of you guys ran by and high-fived us as we were there as fans.
Yeah.
And we could just tell there was this confidence, but not arrogance. And you guys were relaxed. And I remember us saying right after we left that, it was like, they're ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're ready to go. And it was, but that was just an amazing moment as a fan to have that connection right before the game.
Yeah.
Like, so you guys really deserve kudos for that, because that was awesome.
Yeah, greatly appreciated. That game was a little up and down, but
a little
started off. You had to spot him a few points just to make it interesting, right?
Hank is Hank,
Yeah,
Hank is gonna do Hank. He's good.
No doubt.
He's good.
So, obviously, on the defensive line, you had a real strong chemistry with Armando Sewell.
Yeah.
When you two were in the middle of that line, it was a scary, scary thing.
Yeah.
Did you find that kind of chemistry as well, or?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. We've been starting together for the past 3 years, and numbers don't lie. We're one of the best run defenses.
Exactly.
You watch the tape. Me and him are always eating doubles, splitting doubles, getting pressure. He's getting to the quarterback a little more than I, but we're always causing some sort of havoc. Playing next to him definitely helps me. Just watching how hard he practices and just makes me want to take my game to that level.
Yeah.
And it's been a pleasure playing with him, and he's a hell of a player. He's one of the best defensive linemen I have ever seen, no doubt about it.
It was one of those things. It just seemed like, even especially last year, you weren't starting at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And you could see the line was just not the same. And then when you got back in, it was just there's a magic between the two of you.
It's the truth.
It was great to watch.
Yeah, it's the absolute truth. And I'm not bitter about my departure or anything. I understand the business. But history proves all-American defensive lines aren't the most successful in the CFL.
Sure.
So I'm very curious to see how things are going to pan out for them next year. I'm not wishing anything bad on the Eskimos ever, but history is proven, right? So we'll see. We'll see how successful they are. A bunch of guys who don't know the CFL because, I hear they're bringing in a whole bunch of Americans from down south.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay, a whole bunch of different things. Okay.
We'll see.
So now, so as we talk about that, and you're right, the business of football can suck sometimes. It can be kind of cruel.
Yep.
And, of course, now you're a part of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. At least you're reunited with a bunch of guys you know. I mean, that's
totally.
That's a good thing.
Totally.
But on a serious note, was it that familiarity that kind of led you there?
Yeah, that Coach Jones, he was hitting me up on my phone, and I have a really good relationship with him. Okay. I really enjoy his system, enjoy his style of coaching.
Sure.
I've had my best years of ball under him.
Yeah.
So that is a big pull. The new stadium, who would not want to play in an inaugural stadium, especially in Saskatchewan? Like, great fans here, fans, but it's another level
for sure. Yeah,
it's another level. It really is. So to be a part of that's another pull, and financially they're taking care of me. I had my offers across the league, really, but I really wanted to remain out west. At this point in my career, I don't want to be moving too much with the newborn on the way.
Absolutely.
So it's the best fit. Being from Winnipeg too, it's a quick drive over to Winnipeg where all the support systems are. So there's a lot of X factors that came into play with my decision, and I'm really excited about it, to be honest.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, especially growing up in Winnipeg, having a lot of family and everything else. How many of your friends are going to be wearing an actual
the jerseys? I'm on people. Some people say no way.
I'll just hold up the numbers 9 and 7.
Yeah, for real, man, for real. But I like being the bad guy. I'll tell you what, opening game in the stadium.
Yeah.
It's against Winnipeg on Canada Day, Saturday night.
Yeah. Can there be a bigger game?
Jeez.
How many of your family are coming to that one?
I'm trying to get carfuls.
Whole section.
Carfuls.
Yeah, exactly.
Carfuls.
Yeah.
The issue will be, is there going to be enough tickets available?
Exactly. On the opening? Have you seen the new stadium yet?
No, just online.
Right.
Through guys' Snapchat and stuff from CFL Week. It looks crazy.
Yeah.
It looks just amazing. Mondo, actually, he was out there for CFL Week.
Yes.
He got a little tour of it, and he told me it's top notch. It's
awesome.
top notch. Yeah.
We've had a lot of really nice stadiums come up. Winnipeg, obviously.
Man. Since I've been in the league, I came at the right time. I've been playing at the right time because since I came in, Winnipeg,
Hamilton,
New BC.
BC got redone. Yeah.
Because I was playing at Empire for a couple
Empire
years
Field,
there.
Okay,
Hamilton, Ottawa, Sask. More than half of the league, new stadiums since I've been playing. So I'm playing at the right time. That's
Toronto,
for sure.
too?
Toronto.
And the redo here.
Really?
I mean, it was,
the
redo
like
here. It's a new stadium, even though it's the same place.
Yeah, I got here, and my first year here, they were taking the seats out. It was all red.
Yeah.
That was the beginning of the transformation.
Yeah. So
everywhere but Calgary, Montreal, and that's it, I believe.
Calgary, Montreal, and that is it.
It's wild.
7 different stadiums. So, and Calgary, we're talking 1960s when they opened that thing.
Yeah.
And it hasn't changed that much in 56 years, 57 years. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, usually when we get to this stage, we would ask you what you think the Eskimo way is, but I think that's kind of unfair at this particular moment. So what I'm going to ask you instead is, what are you most looking forward to going to the Riders this year?
The fan base, for one. When I first signed with the team, honestly, no word of a lie, no exaggeration. Easily over 200 personal messages on Facebook and Twitter, Instagram, welcoming me to the club. My wife was getting messages welcoming her.
Wow. Nice.
So just to feel that outreach, that's really special. I've heard you're in a fishbowl over there. Everybody's watching you. So, I really am excited to be playing in a community like that. On game day, the whole town shuts down and everybody's at the stadium, the new stadium. I mean,
that's always exciting.
How do you deny that?
It'll always be memorable, right?
Yeah,
It'll always have been there for the first season.
And I think, to be honest, you look at what Jones is doing over there, he's quietly putting together a really good roster.
Yeah.
If you look at their roster, there is some good talent, and it's chock full of Canadians now.
Yeah.
It's crazy what he's doing. Like, he's overloading on good Canadians.
Yeah.
And that proves to be exactly. You beat me to it. That proves to be successful. Yeah. Quarterback play, it always comes down to that. I played with KG, so I'm a KG believer. On his arm, he's good for at least 7-8 wins a year.
Yeah, exactly.
That's proven. On his arm, he's good for that at least.
The only problem I have with Kevin Glenn is if he's the backup and I was the starting quarterback, I'd be worried because it always seems to be the starter always get injured.
Something happens. So he's the best insurance policy. I'll tell you.
But outside of Edmonton, he's been with every team. So.
Yeah, exactly. Isn't that what somebody had said? Now that Vince Young is going to a place where he could be both the Madden and the Kevin Glenn curse all at once. So we'll see if he can overcome everything.
Wow. Maybe they'll cancel each other out, right?
The KG curse.
It'll cancel each other. I like that. Yeah, exactly. Well, Eddie, I can't thank you enough for coming to do this. This has been fantastic. And of course, whenever you're done playing, we're happy to have you back and talk about all your time in the CFL. And where can everybody find you online and kind of follow you and all those things?
My Twitter is Eddie_Steele97, I believe, something like that. I always just type in people's names and it pops up. Because I'm verified on everything.
Sure.
Instagram, eSteele97. Facebook, my name, Eddie Steele. And
awesome.
Get at me, add me, and
fantastic.
Oh, that's awesome. And that's really how we got this set up. So thank you for that.
Hey, thank you for having me. I really appreciate being here.
We were looking forward to this.
You guys have something good going here. So thanks I appreciate being a part of it.
Thank you. And of course, we wish you all the best of luck, except when you play the Eskimos. And of course, all the best to your growing family.
Thank you.
We'll be right back to wrap up the show right after this.
This is Blake Dermott, and you're listening to the Eskimo Empire Podcast.
Hey guys, do you know there's even more ways to interact with the Empire online?
What?
That's right. You can find us on Twitter at EskEmpirePod, on Facebook under the Eskimo Empire Podcast group, on Instagram at EskEmpirePod, and you can also follow us on YouTube under our channel, the Eskimo Empire Podcast. Now, I know you guys like that Eskimo history segment, right?
Yeah!
You can follow more of that information at Esk's History on Twitter, and you can find it on This Day in Esk's History on Facebook. Don't forget to share, okay?
Okay!
Thanks so much for listening. Let's get back to the show. Welcome back from not going anywhere. So that was an amazing conversation.
What a fantastic interview and just conversation. With
exactly. And I'm going to reiterate it so everyone else can hear it as well. I offered to Eddie that when he's done playing football, he's more than welcome to come down and be here as the third guy every week and tell us all about football. I'd be perfectly fine with that.
I would love to be here and have him interview current players and just if they say anything, he can just call them right out on it. It'd be fantastic.
You think he'd do that?
Never.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
With those arms, he can do whatever he wants.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm not going to stand in the way.
No,
yeah, please go right ahead. No, that was amazing. And Eddie is just a great dude. Came over, was very comfortable, had great conversation right off the get-go, and I can't say thank you to him enough.
Super friendly guy.
Yeah, it's all. He's a true Winnipegger in the Manitoba, the friendly people.
He's a good prairie boy.
Absolutely. Now, before we sign off this week, a couple of quick thoughts just on Mark's CFL week.
Sure.
I was very impressed. I thought the coverage by the CFL was amazing, and I actually thought that it looked like it was a really good time. I thought there was a lot of good fan interaction. I think we need to give a little bit of kudos out to our fellow podcasters in the CFL podcast family.
Absolutely.
And Piffles Pod, I thought they did a great job. Onside Fantasy CFL also, they did a great job with their coverage in their booth and being able to talk to some of these players. And kudos on the CFL for getting media passes to those podcasters and let them be part of the week. And I just thought that they did an amazing job with having that access. And it was great.
I think the fact that we're getting to crunch time in the NHL and you're still seeing a lot of CFL chatter, not just on the social media, but on the other media outlets.
Absolutely.
Is absolutely fantastic. Seeing stuff in the Journal and the Sun, hearing stuff on the radio, seeing stuff on TSN, things like that. Absolutely outstanding, and just great to see the CFL taking another step forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I do hope that they continue the trend of CFL week. I really do like that. One of the things I did hear was that they were planning on continuing to do it, but that 3 out of the next 5 years would be in Regina. And my worry with that is, although it is a great hotbed for CFL football, I totally understand that. But I'd really like to see it go around the league, because I think that there are other cities that could use that exposure, right?
Yeah, I did read an article from Darren Davis from Regina, and he talked about the reason he'd like to see it back in Regina next year before it takes off is this was a trial for sure.
Oh, sure.
And they can sort of work the bugs out, put it back in Regina where it's still going to be front and center because, again, they have no other hockey. Of the 9 CFL teams, 7 of them have an NHL team in their city.
Yes.
Other than Hamilton, who's close enough to Toronto anyway.
Yeah, and up until this year, we weren't worried about being in a playoff race at this point. But
no, we certainly weren't. But to be able to sort of work the kinks out, make sure it's good, and then after the second year, then start moving it around. My only concern is, again, we need a really strong East, so I'd like to see something out there, maybe in Montreal, maybe in...
or maybe in Hamilton.
Hamilton, I think, would be fantastic. Again,
absolutely.
They're very passionate people out in Hamilton.
Yes.
Especially, they haven't had the Grey Cup since 1996, and they're looking like they're not going to have it for at least another year or two. And a possibility that they have something that's their own and that they can rally around, I think would be great.
Yeah. I agree. So, great job by the CFL. I was excited about it. I think we got a lot of good chatter going, like you said. And, I'm looking forward to going back over and watching some of the combine stuff a little more in detail so that we can have that conversation in the next coming weeks.
Sounds great.
And, of course, we're planning on having Max from the CFL here next week to talk about CFL week and how it went from behind the scenes.
Yeah. Just on another tack, talking about some news that came out this week, is that 2 cities now have bid on the 2018.
Yes, I was going to bring that up next. Yeah, that's awesome.
And that, I think, is interesting to have Calgary and Edmonton, both the 2 teams bidding on this. So,
the one thing that's nice for you and I is we know it's going to be close.
Yes.
It's either going to be we get to sleep in our own beds or we're only couple hours away. Yeah. So I'm very excited about that, and either city would put on a great show. I think it's the parties I'm not worried about. as far as being here or there, right? Would I love to have it here? Absolutely. Would I love to have the opportunity to take the podcasters and get everybody into the turf district and have a big chatter?
Absolutely.
Oh, man, let's sign that up right now. 2018, folks.
Yeah.
CFL Podcast Roundtable.
Now, I mean, either way, it's been, it'll be at that point 9 years since it has been in Calgary, 2009, and then 8 years since Edmonton. So either way, it needs to come back to Alberta very soon.
Yeah.
So if Calgary gets it in 2018, maybe we'll get it in 2019. We'll see.
Or we might do 2018 there, 19 out to Hamilton, and then back out this way for us or something.
Yeah, Hamilton
right?
did say that they're not ready yet. They do have some legal things they need to wrap up with the stadium. So as we know, the speed of legal is about a snail's pace.
Oh, really?
Yeah, hard to believe it's new. Completely new information. But so if they can't get it wrapped up for 2019, then maybe it'll be back here, and then 2020 they can have it in the hammer.
Stop! Hammer time!
Yeah, exactly. Well, they're all good plans to me.
I like it. Just put me in charge.
Just done. I put Superfan in charge. Yeah, exactly. All right, well, we've got lots of fun shows coming. Thank you again for listening to our little show, as without you, there is no Empire. And thank you again to Eddie Steele for coming in to chat with us.
Absolutely.
You can, of course, follow him on Twitter. It's at Eddie, EDDIE _ Steele, STEELE 97. And you can make sure you do follow him there. Of course, like he said, follow him on Facebook, all those types of things. He's pretty open guy. And hey, I do need to send a thank you out as well. I forgot about this in Mark's CFL week. Piffles Pod got me a Warren autograph. So thank you to you guys. I repaid the favor I did get you an Eddie Steele one.
Absolutely.
Samesies, right?
I was going to say that seems like an even trade.
Well, if you've met Eddie, it's true. It really is. All right, we will be back next week with our regular Esks news and, of course, the next round of Esks by the numbers. And if you haven't already, make sure that you get on there and fill in that survey.
It's a tough one.
There's some tough, and every vote counts in this 60s.
There are
crazy.
some numbers that right now are either dead tied or separated by 1 or 2 votes. So
wow,
it's going to be close.
So yeah, get those votes in now. We will of course be back next week, like I said, and as I've said a couple of times now, Max from the CFL will be joining us. So that's going to be a load of fun. So is it time to get your round 7 Esks by the numbers survey filled in? Absolutely. For Superfan Mike, I'm Andrew. Remember, you can't catch footballs with your face. We will absolutely talk to you next week.